Here's an osteopath's perspective on massage balls. Do they work? Do they not? Sneak peek, I love them. And a few exercises that you can do with them if you want to give them a try at home. So I prescribe massage ball use to a lot of my patients because I think it's very complementary to the type of work that we do as osteopaths. If you imagine someone coming in once a week, and even if we just worked on the soft tissues, if you then compare that to if someone could do it at home, 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, compare that to just if we're doing it once a week, yeah, this is probably going to be more impactful if you get it right. So the sheer volume of the amount that you can just get in to that muscle and start to stretch it out on a much more of a micro scale is really, really impactful for patients. So yeah, I think they're absolutely brilliant. They're cheap, they're safe, they're effective. So yeah, let's go through a few things of how you might be able to use them at home. So a great one to do with the massage ball is to be able to get it into the glutes and the piriformis area, which is essentially the buttock muscle region. So what we would do is get it into that position, lean back onto it, and then I can take all of my weight with my arms and my other leg, and then I can just drop down, and then it's going right up through that area. I don't have to move once I found the spot that needs to be worked on. I can just hold it there, and that's really going to start to just get in between that part of the pelvis. Because if you're thinking about using a foam roller or trying to stretch that area, it can be quite difficult because of the shape of the joints, and actually to be able to get in between the back of the pelvis, the spinal column and the hip and penetrate right in there with a massage ball. It's a really, really useful way to do it. And yeah, that's a really good start with that one. Another really good area to be able to work into is around the shoulder blade. Again, if you think about where a foam roller can access, think about where your spine is and then your shoulder blade is, it can't get in between those two structures. And all that seems to happen is it just forces you into extension and, you know, sometimes makes the back click, which to be honest, I really don't like. So when we're doing it this way, what I would say to people is to locate the areas which you don't want to push into first. Locate the back, locate the shoulder blade, and then get it in between those two areas. Once you've got it there, you can just apply some pressure with your legs back towards the wall, open up the shoulder blade by taking the arm across the body and then support it with the other arm. And then you can just work into it like that. And it's a really nice way to just be able to get into this region, which is kind of mid fibers of the traps and the rhomboids. If you want to do the rotator cuff, then actually you can just start a little bit further out. For a lot of people, it'll be easier to come up with the other arm and get it into there. This time I'm just going to be facing the wall at a slightly different angle and doing exactly the same thing. And actually, for anyone who does any exercise into the shoulders, the rotator cuff often is going to be feeling quite tight, and that will find definitely, there's mine, a couple of trigger points in there. So last but not least, the calf muscle and the sole of the foot. So if you've got, you know, tight calves or an Achilles problem in its early stages, or maybe an early stage of plantar fasciitis, it might still be suitable to just work on the muscles to relieve some of that tension, and it could resolve it before those tendons and those other tissues become inflamed and it progresses into something worse. So when we're doing this, which I'll do from a seated position, the best thing to do is to just get the massage ball underneath here and then use the other leg on top to then push down onto it. So then we're actually keeping the leg that's engaged with the ball completely relaxed, and then we're using the other one to push down. If we're going to be working through the foot, which I would then be using the smaller one for, you can do this from a seated position. Same thing, just use the other foot to gently work through it until you start to feel the points of contact that are required and start to get a bit of relief through that area. Right, so I hope you liked that little demo on massage balls and that little bit of a perspective from the osteopath there. So yeah, follow us for more tips and tricks for staying out of pain.